It is 10 o'clock. Are we ready to go, Cammie?
Yep.
All right, welcome everybody. So we're going to jump right into this and begin with Kell.
Okay, I think first up is Randy, Fire Marshal.
All right, well, thank you, Kell. Yeah, good morning, Chair Trask, Commissioners Netherland, and Commissioners and other commissioners. And Tarswell, thank you. Pardon me, I'm a little nervous.
And that guy.
Save, right there.
Right. Okay, anyway, so item before you is considering funding of community wildfire prevention plan. A CWPP, as we call them, is a comprehensive plan designed by a county and is used as a tool for fire and land managers and residents to plan for wildfires. Some of its key components include the community risk assessment, which identifies areas at risk, including homes, types of infrastructure, which can vary considerably. I mean, it can be watersheds, it can be sewer plant, treatment plants, you name it. Vegetation and natural resources. It makes recommendations for mitigation, outlines projects such as fuels reductions, forest health restoration, and steps homeowners can take to reduce the structural ignitability of their homes. It also includes the community preparedness and response element, where it focuses on educating residents on improving the community's ability to respond to and recover from wildfire events. Because any strategy used to accomplish these goals involves numerous agencies and a variety of community groups, CWPPs are prepared in concert with these stakeholders, which usually include PUDs, tribes, fire districts, conservation districts, cities, HOAs, established firewise groups, etc. Under the Healthy Forest Restoration Act, CWPPs must be current, which is less than 10 years old. They need to be approved by the state forester and include current fire history, climatic conditions, and mitigation efforts. Mason County's first CWPP was prepared as a pro bono class project by Western Washington University in 2012, and is no longer recognized because of its age. It also does not reflect our growing fire history, which has risen from 17 incidents in 2010 to 154 in 2021, when the last compiling was done with our hazard mitigation plan. Since then, this trend has only continued with some of the following incidents: the McEwen fire, which burned 232 acres, the Camelgie Point fire, which burned 48, the Tunerville fire, which burned 80, the Hama fire, which burned 65, Browns Creek 11, and Bear Gulch over 200,000. That's the big daddy of them all. And to date, it cost over $43 million to suppress, and obviously has significant impacts on our economy. These fires are also representative of what's happening across the rest of Western Washington as their numbers continue to rise. And in 2023, Western Washington actually surpassed Eastern Washington with having more fires than they did. In other words, we had 552 wildland fires in 2023. There was 527 over on the east side. Because the strategies for combating wildfires as identified in the CWPP take years to implement, if we're to minimize this threat that's growing, we need to act now. Now, there are also some very relevant economic considerations I'd like to share. You've probably heard of many stories of county businesses being adversely impacted during the height of their busy season as tourists chose not to visit Mason County due to the Bear Gulch fire. And as we all know, a small post on social media, and to use a pun, can spread like wildfire and result in scores of visitors canceling their outings. However, what really concerns me, and what I would call the elephant in the room, is the potential impact these changes can have on our insurance. Insurers use very sophisticated modeling to evaluate our wildfire risk. And as they become more common and they reevaluate their policies regularly, I regularly receive phone inquiries from homeowners who have had their policies not renewed or canceled. And while these numbers currently remain relatively low, as fires continue to increase, we can only expect this trend to continue. I recognize the costs of the CWPP are significant, but they remain essential for any program to minimize fire risk, and also are the most effective tool to leverage grant opportunities to fund programs to reduce wildland fuels, protect critical infrastructure, and promote community programs that allow our residents to prepare for and survive wildfires. To that end, it really represents an investment that usually results in a far greater return, and it also represents a one-time cost. Lastly, I would add Mason County is only one of a handful in the counties in the state that do not possess a CWPP. And in case you're interested, I brought copies of CWPPs that I've prepared for Jefferson and Kittitas counties. I've talked to the company that prepared the one for Jefferson County just to try and get a ballpark figure on what you were looking at. And they have said we're looking in today's dollars between $150,000 and $200,000. A lot of it depends upon the extent of the outreach that occurs, development of a web page, other factors that are involved. In terms of public outreach, I've certainly alluded to the need to involve stakeholders. It's essential you engage them, and if we're to move forward with this, they would be active participants in this process, and a lot of them you can see sitting behind me here today. So the requested action I have for the three of you is to discuss funding of CWPP for Mason County through the RFP process. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
One quick one. You said Bear Gulch was 200,000. It didn't take a significant jump
That's
over the weekend.
a little more than
Oh, I'm sorry, 20,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
I apologize.
Okay.
I had one
Just
too many
wanted-
zeros there, yeah.
Just wanted to be
Okay.
clear on that.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big jump.
More comments. One of the first things that I asked when I saw it was, who would pay for it? How would we pay for it? And it is a significant amount, but it's not if we spread it out a little bit among some of the stakeholders, the PUDs and stuff like that. It could be easily done. Maybe with us being the lead on it for a certain amount of money. We have shortcomings on our budget that we're trying to overcome, but this is one of those things that it's kind of a no-brainer. Something has to be done on this, and I can see that. How to get there would be the question. You probably don't know, but maybe we can look at how some of the other counties and stuff had done it. Did they reach out to the?
So I can address that. So a lot of the other counties have used grants. A big one was what is known as Community Defense Wildfire Grants that were through the federal government. We actually applied for one in 2023. Unfortunately, we were denied. That's why I'm here before you today. So those have been looked into, and to give DM credit that they made an effort to try and get one.
And we have a grant writer here, so that would be, my first choice would be to go out for a grant and see if we can pay for it that way, but this is something we have to do.
I'll say the only problem with that is time. If we go through a grant cycle, we could be talking several years. And I have a feeling, something tells me this is important now. I think it's because of all the people that are here in this room. And I don't know how to do this, but I think we should maybe just reach out to our PUDs, for an example. I'm trying to think what other major stakeholders we have, just see if they would be willing to kick in some of it while we go through that process, and see if there's the amount that maybe the county would make up. I'm not saying that we do it or we make that, but we should ask and find out, because if they're willing to step up a little bit too, that could definitely take on some of the weight and the hurt that we would have to wait and carry. I'm not the chair, you have to wait forever.
Well, and I'm wondering if we can go out if we can do the RFP process first, figure out how much it's going to cost us, and then see how we can pay for it, because I think one way or the other, we're gonna have to pay for it. Or it's gonna have to be paid for. So if we do the RFP first, and then, get the cost, and then figure out how it will be paid for.
I'd be supportive of going out for and find out, but then start that outreach with some of our partners.
Yeah, we might even see if some of the private industries, Green Diamond and such,
Yeah.
might want to contribute to this,
Yeah.
because it certainly is going to benefit them.
Yeah. We usually don't allow public comment, but
I
for it.
wasn't sure, but I thought I'd ask. The reason I'm saying is, the Jefferson County was written in 2023, and I don't know if they included in your estimate that they can leverage a large portion of what they've already written, because our county is very similar to Jefferson County.
Right.
And we should not have to pay 100% again what they charge for them to use the same material.
So
That's a good
as we,
point.
as we go out, we could include that in our request.
Yeah,
We also have, you've already written chapter 10 in the hazard mitigation plan is for wildfire. That's a large chunk of the CWPP right there. So we can
So
leverage that in the report as well to save some more dollars.
right, perfect. Yeah, I'm glad I asked you. Glad you raised your hand, thank you. All right, you got that?
I do.
Okay, very cool. Yeah,
I would
well,
love to
and,
read one, if you wouldn't mind dropping one off, I would love to read one. I've never read one. You know
Which
me, I
one do you
read
wanna
everything,
read?
if I could get it, I'd
Would
read
you like
it.
both, or?
Just one, I'd like to see what it looks like, what a structure looks like, thank you.
I've seen them. Timber caucus. Yeah, and I do wanna thank everybody that made a special trip in to come in and support this, because it is important for Mason County. I'm the chair for the timber caucus for Wausau. And this is a priority for every county, so I wanna thank all of you guys for coming in and showing your support and letting us understand how important it is to you.
And if you have any ideas on how to fund it, let us know. But have we agreed to
Go forward
structure it
with the
and go
RFP.
forward?
I think so. And you don't need we don't need this on an action agenda, I think we just have to have, no? I think
When
we
we
just
go-
have to
when
approve
we go out
the
officially,
RFP,
Yeah, we have to go out, but somebody has to structure it first and put it together, so
and then bring it to us.
Yeah.
our administrator will work with somebody to structure that, and they'll bring it back to us, and then we'll,
Get it on the action agenda. Okay.
All right.
thank you for
Thank-
bringing it
thank
to
you
our
for your
attention.
time.
I didn't actually even know that it was an issue.
You could have just said that guy,
Yeah.
the guy over here, whatever, whoever he is.
Thanks, Randy.
Bye, everybody. It's all right, it's okay, we don't mind.
Is it coffee time now? See you guys,
That's funny.
it's the best.
Thank you.
All right.
So you kick me under the table.
Okay.
All right, what you got?
The next thing is we have 3 openings on the Planning Advisory Commission, so just put on next week's, action sheet for reading of the news release.
So 1 and 1 and 2 and 3.
1 and 1 and 2 and 3, correct. So yes, 1 position open in the Commissioner District 1 and 2 positions open in Commissioner District 3.
Okay, commissioners?
Yeah.
And then a generic question about news releases. Is there, there was a time when Dave Windom came at a Tuesday meeting and then just in the director's piece, read the news release, is there a way to, for news releases only, just to streamline getting it on, reading it at an action agenda, or, at a Tuesday meeting, or?
Well, in my opinion, I don't know that we have to read them. We
Yeah.
just say, if in this, up to the other 2 as
Yeah,
well, but
just-
in my opinion, just getting it there and summarizing it, I don't think it has to be read word for word, especially the website
Right,
and
right.
the address here and things like that.
Yeah.
I think just saying we've got
Legally.
an opening and.
Yeah,
There's
whatever
no-
the
it's not
legal
binding legally,
requirements
but
are.
We always just have, and usually, it started because we were doing it for you guys, so we would
Yeah,
read them.
right.
And then we started forcing you to come in and stand up there and do it yourself, and then she likes to watch you scroll over it, so she wants to make sure you're in the room, not on the thing, and,
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, I guess that's one of my
Oh, is
questions,
that-
is to bypass briefing to get the news release, do we really need to, You know,
You
it's
probably
just
should still be
I would just-
briefed.
I would,
Okay.
yeah. I
It's
would
official
still
action
just
of the
do-
county that
yeah.
you're going out on our behalf,
Okay.
so.
That's fine. Just keep doing it.
Well, I don't know that has to
And
be a
then you don't
briefing,
have to
briefing,
read it.
as much as it is, the administrator, tells us that there are these. I don't know that it has to be a big, drawn-out thing to explain it.
You're just saying you just want me to bring it up in our discussions?
I could see where you could, and
Okay.
I don't see there being any issue, as long as we knew that was coming, and we could say, hold on a minute, we wanna look at something else.
Yeah, for sure, that's easy, as long as I have a list of them, and know what I'm bringing in.
Okay. All right. Okay, and then lastly is our, I'll turn it over to Marissa, but I think the three of us participating in the comp plan.
Yes, our PAC passed along the comp plan. On Monday, they had their continuation of their public hearing. And we had, was it three or all four?
Three.
Three of the four members voted to pass it along, as amended that night, and one member had some recommendations, which the rest of the members were okay with passing along as well. So at this point, we're hoping to look at schedules for work sessions with you guys. And we did have a member, I don't know if there was more than one member, but there was at least a member that was interested in doing a joint session with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I would
and-
say multiple members
Yeah,
were
multiple
interested in
members.
having a PAC, BOCC, kind of a joint session so they could share their thoughts on, you know, the recommendations they made and the concerns that they have.
And so we're at the point of just trying to get an idea of your guys' schedules, so we can start setting up some
Yes.
reviews.
We'll look at-
Okay.
So personally, I think it'd be a great opportunity and time, because I've heard from some of the members also, and I know that you have as well, that we do have a joint meeting on it. Personally, I think you ought to have it set up as a PAC meeting, special PAC meeting. The reason why this way we can allow public comment and stuff like that if we wanted to catch some of the people, because we don't do that when we do it as our meeting, so just something to think about. But this way we can start to write down some of the issues they have, so we can separate them out and find out what needs to still be finished. The public comment can be structured, because it's not a hearing, it can be structured just to allow them to have a few minutes just to say something, instead of on the actual issues. That's what I think. Either that, or, you know, you might wanna send one of us over or to sit with them and start to separate them out. You know, I would do that in a heartbeat, was on there for
It
years,
should be all
but
three of us.
I have no problem, I think that would be the way to go, I'm just saying it's an alternative.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I mean, how we structure it, I think it's a good idea to do this as a work group or a work study or what, you know, whatever you wanna call it, it's fine. It's just a public meeting that, you know, the three of us are gonna be involved with, so.
Oh, look, we could even do it on a Monday,
Yeah.
and that way
Um,
you guys would have to come in and,
And sooner rather than later. This way we
Yes.
can get some of that stuff before we start going through.
but if we do it on a Monday,
on a Monday.
we don't need a special meeting or.
Oh,
We
I
just
see.
have them come in on a Monday afternoon, after the briefing,
It'll still have to be a special
It
meeting
would
for
still
them
be a
though.
special meeting.
for them. But it wouldn't be a special meeting for us,
No,
because
it
we would
wouldn't be
have to
for us.
announce it.
Yeah,
If all
but
three
if
of
you
us
set
are
it
there,
up
we would
underneath
have
them,
to
we can have public comment where we have our work sessions, we don't offer that normally. We can always change that, I guess. But if we'd had a special meeting for them on a Monday, so that we don't have to declare it as a special meeting, they
Yeah,
could, or
okay.
they can all come here. We've done it in the past. It's,
Yeah.
it's not an arduous.
Yep.
Just not in this manner. We're doing it in an official function to help structure this and figure out where some of the separations are, so that we can streamline it and get it done.
So are you thinking that we
This
could
is
do
our
it
regular.
in the
Is
evening?
that a Monday?
Or you wouldn't even need to do the evening.
Yeah.
If you have a special
I
meeting
see
for
what you're
PAC,
Well, I'm just thinking for notice requirements, cause aren't you?
It's
isn't it
due today, so if we decided on it, I would be fine.
Okay. Okay, then I'm open, whatever you
Well, for a
guys.
special meeting, you don't need 2 weeks' notice. That's a
Well,
hearing.
no, but
to
Yeah.
notice the hearing.
Yeah,
Or the
that's a
meeting.
hearing. We're not having a hearing.
if
We're
we had
just-
a regular meeting, the notice is due today, so if we're doing a special, I can redo that and not worry about it.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so the 20th, and then what time?
Well, wasn't.
Do we have budget on the 20th?
I don't know, we'd have to ask Jim.
It's not on my schedule, but.
Let me see.
Yes, we do.
That's what I thought, because we do have, yeah, we have budget briefing
Are you,
as well.
Jen, are you planning on doing it after lunch, or were you including it in the earlier section?
I was hoping we could fit it into the earlier section in the morning, but either way works for me, whatever works for you.
And then I don't do
So-
chemo, I do it on Tuesdays, and so
Yeah.
we can come back at 1 or 2,
1 or 2, does that work
and
for you?
maybe take a couple hours.
I'm,
I mean, that works for us. I don't know about PAC members, especially if they'd be able to attend in person.
We
'Cause
can give
they're,
them the virtual
Yeah.
option.
so, I mean, I will email them and let them know for sure, but
Okay.
that works for us.
1 o'clock it is.
Okay.
1 o'clock, okay. Okay.
And then if you'll send notices for us too.
Yes.
Okay, and then at that meeting, I would expect you guys can talk about some additional stuff prior to, you know, a public hearing. I think December 9th is your only meeting in December. Is that correct, Cammie?
Yeah, there's only one.
So I was thinking that as the public hearing for you guys to, you know, to adopt the, you know, if you go that route, and then working backwards from there on kind of what other additional meetings we
So
want
we
to
can
have.
shoot
with
for
the-
that, but we don't know what it'll be.
Exactly, but that's just a,
I don't see any
That's
problem
a-
with shooting for that.
yeah, tentative schedule, okay. So that leaves the month of November for some
We're usually not that
additional-
lucky, we get another meeting in on December. We always wanna have just the one, but we usually don't.
Yeah, there's no other.
Let's just shoot for 1.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. And I think that's it.
How many pages is this?
Last time I checked, it was 283.
And then there's a bunch of appendices,
Yes.
so we can make it a lot bigger than that, but yeah.
Or do you-
But under
We're gonna be asking you to take everything else not required by law. That's
I
what we
mean-
do.
The biggest changes are requirements from the state are in the housing chapter and of course the new climate chapter. So that's where the biggest changes are.
But remember, we did read that, you weren't here, we read that, I think, to you, the law and the chapter on it, to where we didn't even qualify for a part of it, so not to do away with the work, but maybe to put that into an appendix, so that it's not part of it, because we didn't have to have it. The commission was,
Part of it, yeah.
sent it back saying, we want only what's required by law on that chapter. I'm not misstating, am I? That's what we're told, okay, that's what,
Throughout the entire thing.
yeah, I want that too, but I mean,
Yeah.
in that one in particular, we actually, I don't remember whether you
It
were
was
here. You
the
had to have been,
greenhouse
but-
gases part, and we don't have that in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't
It's
do
not
that
included.
piece.
Yeah, so just remember, and there's that other part, just only what's required
Mhm.
on that.
Yeah, but thank you guys for all of that, because, wow. You know, Pat was at the meetings and
Some of them.
He's got the scars to prove it.
Randy sits over there and giggles.
Interesting,
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Anything else? Anything for Kell and team?
Okay,
Cool beans?
thank you.
Thank you.
Where's the useful human part? Is there a sticker?
Huh?
The useful human part sticker?
Useful human.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Alright.
Okay, so we have one item on there, and that's, good morning. I've talked to everybody already today. And that is, lead contract. So Melissa is on.
What's interesting is, my request at the time was that
Oh.
we not pass it until we get the briefing on Monday and then pass on the next one, but somehow it went the other way around.
And
So,
Melissa's out at 6, so she's doing it on briefing from home, so.
well, there's no hurry now, if she wants to.
Okay.
because
We can rebrief again?
Well,
or-
because we passed it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
my original request was to go the other way around, have it
Yeah.
right
Got it,
before
got
it,
it, got it.
but it passed, I didn't stand in the way of it, but, just so you know, my questions are gonna be, you know, is this worth doing, are we doing it? We've had times in the past when we weren't, this was a lot of money, so in the future, we just wanna know, you know, are we doing it just cause there's grant money out there, or is this
Is it
actually?
having an effect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, you don't have to feel the pressure today if you're sick and everything. It was, like I said, it went different than I thought, so.
Okay. All right, other than that, let me update you on budgets from the state. So we've had quite a few discussions around WIC this past week. So WIC has a couple of components. One is the food component, and that's the money that's from the state. So we access that directly from the state. We have enough money in that account to go maybe another 10 days under the federal shutdown. So what they don't cover is staff time, and our staff time is covered. We'll have to shift Rachel from the fund she's working in, WIC, that fund, into another fund. We can cover that through life coursework at PHS, or actually through our money that we get that's just open from WSALFO that we get every January. So we can cover her on that. Eventually this stuff will come back and come around, and the state is working on contracts to reimburse us for the money we spend to keep things open. So we'll see when they get those to us. They have not been exactly speedy about getting our contracts. I mean, our main contract took 2.5 months from when it was due to get to us. So
And then
it's been slow.
there's the funding too.
Right, there's the
Sometimes
funding.
they're 2 months late.
Right, yeah, so our funding was supposed to be here in July, didn't get here until September 19th, something like that, so it was very late getting here, so. And that covered the whole consolidated contract. This piece, WIC, is federal, it's rolled out as a consolidated contract, but it's a separate line item. So, once the federal money is turned back on, it'll come back on.
So
But-
they will reimburse whatever you spend on it, you're saying?
Right. That's their plan. I haven't seen the contract yet. So, but if,
And is that for the service and not for
for the
staff time?
service, that's the staff time,
Okay,
staff time. The service money will already have been billed. But once that service money is done in a week or 10 days, we'll have to shut the clinic. Because we won't be able to issue checks or do any of that.
and then you have
piece of-
something else for Rachel.
Yeah, we'll move Rachel over and do some other work. There's some other things that she's been working on that with, for example, she's been working on a contract with the prison to take, they have their farm, and they're growing too many veggies, who knew? And she's been doing those, sending them out through WIC. Well, we might be able to do a thing where we take those out to the food pantries and get the veggies delivered out to the food pantries. There's any number of things we can do until that federal money gets turned back on. So who knows how long that'll be. I mean, we've been through this, we did it in, 2017,
It's like they do it
2012.
every year.
Yeah, I mean, we've been through a number of these, so I'm not really too concerned. Things will get turned back on and WIC will come back, because the Trump administration said that WIC is a big priority, so. And in the state, it costs an average of $4 million a month to run WIC. So, no, wrong, 4 million a week, 14 million a month to run WIC. It's one of the biggest state programs, so. That's kind of where we're sitting at with that. Other federal funds, really not gonna affect us. We already got the money for public health emergency response planning, and then I think Ben's grant on the prevention is already satisfied, so we're good on those. So those are our main 3 federal funds, which would be kind of up in the air right now. So, and we have meetings on this stuff at least twice a week, every week, trying to keep on top of where it's going across the state.
I was approached yesterday, you may have been as well, about when the checks will be written for these, all the grant stuff we just went through in housing and behavioral health. Specifically, it was Crossroads.
Right, and I will get with, we're doing, yes, I'm on it. We've had at least 2 landlords who said they've not received their checks. So we're going back through all those pieces. When did the landlord bill? When did Crossroads write the check? We're looking back through that whole process to make sure that it's, and we're gonna probably have a conversation with Crossroads pretty shortly.
Okay. And a Turning Point sent in their questions as well, but haven't heard back either, so.
Yeah, and Melissa's been out all week, so I'll get with Melissa this afternoon, management team, and we'll look at that.
Okay. Okay. Anything?
So, there's lots hopping.
So much.
So, and flu and COVID are going around. It sounds like the flu is worse than the COVID. So it's
They're
really
both a flu.
knocking people down, so,
They're both.
yeah, they're doing fun. So, that's all I had.
Okay.
So,
All
Okay?
right.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
And do we have Public Works out in the lobby?
I'll find out.
Okay. Thank you. No?
Why don't you brief on that thing?
That thing, which
The-
one?
the
The
properties.
news release. Well, we can do the news release for him.
Okay.
Solid waste tax increases. Everybody take a look at the news release. Good with it? You're good?
Don't like it, but it's a necessary
Mm-hmm.
evil.
All right, so that'll be going out. Okay, that was easy.
I just asked if they were out.
All right, so we're good. Let's move on to,
Call them and tell them they don't have to come.
yeah, let's move on to Travis, Central Services.
Cool, all right,
Are we Central Services or Support Services?
yes.
I always get
Yes, we are.
confused.
We were always support services, but it changed recently.
Hang on, let me see what it says here.
does it say in here?
Support,
Or support? Okay.
that's what it says.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanna throw one on top that wasn't in the documentation, but this did come in from Public Works. It's the rewrite on the legal descriptions for the parcels out at Public Works. They wanted to have Commissioner Netherlands sign off on those. Public Works has looked at it, it's gone through. Tim, everybody says go forth, so
Just give it to you.
he's already reviewed them, but he wanted to have the commissioners if they wanted to look at it. And do you have anything else on that?
So, in the past, you guys have given me the authority to sign it, but even though I haven't, I still always would rather you look at it first or decide if you have an issue with it. In looking at it, I always worry automatically because we're going backwards. They're already insured, but our attorney has looked at it and said that he doesn't have that fear. So if he doesn't, then I won't. I don't see anything that puts us at risk. It's just, except for the fact that we are going back and correcting something on properties that we've already closed on. But if he's good with it, I don't see any risk in it. But I need your, still to tell me with a head shaker or anything that you want me to go ahead and sign it as a continuance of the other stuff we already did.
I'm good.
Yeah, seems.
Okay, I'll just bring it to you after the meeting.
Yep, I'll sign it afterwards.
Okay, good. So the next one that I have is the Veterans Advisory Board. If you've reviewed that, they worked with staff and they wanted to make some changes to their operating policies and procedures. It mainly has to do with the yearly assistance amount, increasing that a little bit. Some changes for what they use that for, and then putting in a term limit on those assistance offerings that they have. And so I know that I have talked to Jen in the past about this, about whether or not they have the capacity to make those changes. She says, yes, no problem there. And so it seems to me that it's a reasonable reflection of the cost increases that we have all experienced, and they are requesting that we make that change in their policy.
Yeah.
So I think both of us have served on it. At one point, it was only 600.
Yeah.
So we've been moving it up steadily and stuff like that. And I don't know if things have changed, but they were always really good in not exceeding the stuff they had. That's why we supported
Still
when
the
they
same.
made those requests in the past. So if that's still the same, then I'd be supportive.
Yeah.
Actually, Jen's here. Do you mind if, Jen, they're still the same. They don't over exceed
The veterans.
their amounts. They're good within that. That's what, they've always been so good.
They're good. They have a lot of cash. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
at least a couple $100,000.
Okay.
And they don't ever spend the amount that they receive each year, so yeah, I think that's a really good idea to up the limits.
Then I'm supportive.
Yep, I support.
Absolutely.
So I will do my other one really quick then, because it is related. They also discuss the option of acquiring QuickBooks in order to be able to do all the checks and
Yes, please.
reconciling everything else. I think everyone involved in the process is saying, please, can we do this? And so they went through the whole discussion with their board, and they think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. So,
I'm supportive.
yeah,
Okay, perfect.
and Jen's over there. Yes.
Okay, good. Then I see that Public Works is here. Do you want to circle back to them?
Well, we looked at the news release and think it's fine. And so, Commissioner, do you have anything for Public Works?
No.
Alright,
Thanks for the trip down.
we'll wander back.
Would have called you, but I figured you're almost here by the time they told me,
No
so.
problem. No worries.
Yeah,
Thank you.
easy week.
See you later.
No, you did a good job.
Oh, then, let's also work on that MOU.
Will do.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay,
Okay, I have Tammy Wright, reference Homeland Security grant, but I don't see her. So I'm gonna bump past her and just go straight to Kelly.
Kelly Enterprise.
So what I have, Public Works was downfitting and getting rid of a truck. It's 2002. It's not the very nicest truck in the world, but it has a plow on it. It has a sander on it. So they were gonna take that to surplus, and I told them I wanted it. And just to go down and go through our alleys, go through our parking
That's
lots.
brilliant, brother. How will we decide the value if we're doing?
So I went to Blue Book and I looked it up. I looked on the line of the surplus auctions and tried to find one. I did a couple comparisons, and they told me they'd give it to me for $5,000. I talked to Jen. It's a thumbs up. It's a win-win situation. And then Mike called me back and says, you know what? I was looking at that truck and can I have it for $1,000.
What?
$1,000 now.
Now, the thing is,
Well, keep holding out. It's gonna
Yeah.
take, you're gonna pay us to take it.
but the risk is though, if we are accused later on of taking something out of road fund that shouldn't, can we justify that? Because
So it does need some work. I gotta do some welding on it. It definitely needs some work. It needs 2 new batteries. It needs a brake job. So with that, I'd have to pay probably what it would cost to get that truck up and running and
Okay. So you don't think Public Works have any problem justifying that?
As long as we document it, I
Okay.
think we're
Then let's
fine
make
if we
sure
can
we
document it
document
for
it.
the SAO.
We could lose so much
Right.
funding, we've been in trouble over the
Crap.
years.
They get crabby.
That's pretty funny. That's what they're called, the crab boards. In case nobody else caught that.
so yeah.
I'm
So a big
supportive.
big
I
thanks
think it's
to
brilliant. I think
Mike
it's a
and to
great
Public
idea.
Works to coming up and helping us out, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can get up there and plow their driveways and stuff like that too. With that
Yeah.
Public Works. So yeah, it's a win for us.
Yeah,
And even emergency, but that's a brilliant thing to have.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, they used to always come down and do it for us anyhow. We'd go up there and bag, and they'd bring a truck down and go through our alleys, and now we just
But
have
you
it
Now we
in
don't
down.
have to
particular,
bring
you're
it.
one of those people that sometimes the
Like
first
it.
one at anything. Anything goes on, you're the first one there.
Well, we
so,
usually come in around 4 when there's a snow.
Yeah, so, like it a lot.
That's all I had.
Wow, that was easy.
That was easy. I've always,
I know, I like your hat.
You might wanna stay for this one too.
oh, that's right, you're right, I told you I'd be here.
We're
I won't
talking
leave you,
about,
I got you.
the vehicles, so we talked about this earlier this year a little bit. Enterprise is recommending that we, do new leases, or, replacement leases on some of our 2020 white fleet vehicles.
Yeah.
So we're already replacing, 4 of the recommended 18 in 2026 rates. So, what I've brought forward to you here is an additional 14 vehicles that are 2020, and it would save us approximately $15,000 is what Enterprise is estimating. We met our our motor pool group, and we've, decided that their numbers look very fair, so, it looks like we probably will save about
Is that savings with any type of upfitting that's still gonna be needed, or?
I don't think any of these
So
have
the
any.
White fleet,
The
right?
white fleet is our auditor, assessor, treasurer.
Yeah, but we don't have
Really
any,
no upfitting except
No
if
radios or
they
anything
would
like
need a canopy or something, cause we're going to trucks. For the simple
Which makes
reason,
so
if
much
you was to
sense.
go out and look at their cars,
Yeah.
they got stakes in there, they got stuff that, it's just,
Not
they
cars
need
that-
a truck, they don't need
Yeah.
a car. Now, I'm gonna stay with the car with the nurses
Good.
and that, but the planners and the building inspectors and the assessors going truck, all-wheel drive.
How many vehicles do the nurses need if they have the van now, the motorhome?
They have 2, and they have the van and the new
Motorhome,
the mobile, whatever you
Yeah.
call that. So they're up to 4.
and they need that many?
Well, I think during COVID, I would have told you no, because they didn't go out, but now they're actually going out to houses and homes. And I'll tell you that I try to go get oil changes, and there's times they were one of the hardest ones to say, hey, I need this car for a couple hours.
on top of that, it's covered through their budget and their
Yeah,
income
yeah.
in most places anyway.
Yeah.
Instead of the general fund.
And I know environmental health, Dave would like to get even a couple more for his people down here with the new water quality and stuff coming on. And I don't know where that sits or how that goes, but
Oh, I think he's got a couple PLRs that.
yeah.
Yeah, and I even had Enterprise overlap a few of the vehicle, or not a few of the, a few months of time, so that, because we're gonna be getting rid of a vehicle, but we're gonna have to keep it until that new one is
Right.
purchased, so that's factored in there
This-
too.
This is showing us the agreement we entered into was right. We entered an agreement for them to do this and keep track of it.
Yeah,
So
we're
it's right
we're
time.
just at that point right now where I'm going to have to put tires on cars, because we're about at 40,000, 42,000 on some of those cars. So, I mean, if we're gonna do it, now is the time to do it.
Let's do it.
I like it. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
So on the sheet I put 2026, so we can, we're almost there, so we can
Let's do it as your,
just do it now, or,
Yeah.
if the market's for them to sell it now, let them sell it.
okay, great, so it might affect 2025.
A little bit of
budget
that,
a little bit.
too, was they were getting us some other cars, and I told them I had to have a Ford product. Cause I wanna go to this Ford dealership, so I didn't have to go all the way to Olympia on all of our recalls.
Yeah.
So I went from that to a Ford Maverick, but I don't think it changed that number to speak of.
No, I think it was $1,000 more overall.
Yeah.
So instead of saving, we would have saved maybe,
16 instead of-
16,000
so.
total.
Well, you did a number for us, what was it, a year or so ago, and showed that by us moving, we've saved $1 million less a year.
Yeah,
We were told at the time,
And safer.
but we got so much grief, we were told at the time by an employee that it was gonna cost us huge amounts of money, $3 million. I mean, but none of that made sense to us, and we held on and we fought, and when it was over with, what we thought turned out to be what it is. We're literally saving millions.
yeah, I did the analysis again this year, and of course, the further away we get from that, 2018 and 2019 timeframe, it's harder to compare apples and oranges, which is why I didn't bring it forward this year, but it still looks like
No
we're
need to,
saving.
we already, we've already made
saved.
enough to where it take
Yeah.
years of going backwards for it to cost us.
Yeah, I think the real savings is the intrinsic value, the safety, like you said. But then the overhead of, the administration, I mean, we don't have to.
Every time they touched it, it cost us $300 an hour back then.
Yeah.
That's why when we pulled it out of there, it was $300 an hour was the number we had that every time they touched it.
Yeah, that was a fun experience.
Yeah. It
What an
was.
adventure.
We got attacked for it and
Yeah, it was fine.
accused of being mean and,
It was fine.
Yeah, I'm glad that's over.
well,
Yeah.
back then we only did this because we couldn't have the patrol cars without it. We were the first ones to broach being able to get that. We tried for years and we couldn't do it, but when we got the patrol cars, we took deputies that had there was a few cars that had 200,000 miles on it.
They were not safe.
And no, out for a call and stuff like that. Now, it's rare for them to have 50,000, right?
100, we
100, really?
we have under 100. That's we passed that and talked about that we try to get those turned in. But there's been a couple that's, hey, it's time to get rid of this, or now's the time, and at that 50,000 mark, yeah.
But yeah, when I do the cost analysis each year, surprisingly, the real savings appears to be the police pursuit vehicles,
Yeah.
which we were not expecting
Yeah.
that we would save that much money on them.
And give them vehicles. We used to
Good
struggle to find 3, 4. One year we gave, I think it was 7, it was like we had part of the waters of the Red Sea. But it put us in danger, that's when we were also broke, but there was no other option. The cars were breaking.
And they make sure that they're running right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we still have pursuits and we still have accidents, about one a month.
Yeah.
COVID was the best thing for us for vehicles, we didn't have no accidents.
Yeah, our savings may go down a little bit, but the pursuit can be done again. But it appears to be a very good deal for us.
Well,
And I think a
after
lot
the
of-
millions, it don't appear anymore. It
Yeah.
is a good deal.
Yeah, and a lot of other entities are going with enterprise as well.
Yeah,
A lot
I think
of
the
other.
city's
I get calls
Yeah,
a
cities,
lot
counties.
from different agencies, they wanna know how that program worked and how did we pull that off, and
Yeah, they asked me about that.
And Enterprise needs to say thank you to you. You've made them a lot of money.
Yeah, we have a really good working relationship with them too, so it's nice. Works well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We'll get going on that then. The next thing that I have for you is the 2026 budget. Thanks.
I'm
Kelly
gonna-
runs out.
Okay.
budget's out or out.
Oh, wait, Kelly. Just kidding.
I don't think he was gonna.
That's funny, you stapled the enterprise with the budget.
Oh, I don't put the packet together.
I was looking for the,
Okay, so I know this is a lot to look at, and it's been on my list to kind of make our budget presentations a little bit more easy to look at, but I haven't gotten there yet, so sorry about the
Nope, you're fine.
details.
I think it's cute.
It's cute, okay. Great, thanks.
Just what you were going for.
Yeah. Okay, so,
And we also have I appreciate you putting, the documents in individual, files, computer files too. That
Oh.
helps a lot.
Oh, good, I'm glad. Yeah, I just saved all the emails people had sent. That was
Yeah.
easier than
So,
saving every
that's
every
perfect.
piece.
Yeah.
So beginning with the general fund for 2026, right now, I'm estimating beginning fund balance still at 24 million. And after going back, now that September is done, I'm estimating it's going to be somewhere between 23 and 24 million, so I'll keep updating that number, you know, as we get closer. I can change it in the budget right now, or leave it at this time at 24 million. I don't like to be high.
Just before we get close, just before we get close.
Okay. And I'm estimating also that we're going to end 2026 at somewhere between 18 and 20 million at this time. So, I have a few ideas on.
Explain that part.
So I'm looking at the amount that we're going to use in cash in the budget right now is estimated at $10,614,000. We will most likely bring in more revenue than we have budgeted. You know, the 46,630,000 on average. We're about 10%. That's about how much we bring in over our revenue budget. And then expenditures, we usually expend, we have to, but by law, expend less than we budget. And that amount has been about 6%, I believe, on average, over the past, you know, since 2019, so 5 years or so. So right now, we're not going to use that full 10.6 million out of cash. We're most likely going to use roughly, you know, $4 million in cash, in our actual cash.
But you said 18, what was the 18? That's where,
Anywhere from 18 to 20. I'm just being conservative in that number.
that,
So,
you're expecting that we will expend.
I'm expecting that ending fund balance will be anywhere from 18 to 20 million at the end of
That's why I thought you
2026.
said that. How do we end up with a beginning fund balance of larger?
Of our beginning fund balance at 1/1/26, I'm estimating at between 23 and 24 million. And then our ending fund balance for 2026, not 2025,
2026.
2026.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Now
sorry
I'm
for the confusion.
It's like,
And next
all
week,
right.
I'll bring a visual.
No, I
of
got
that,
you now. I just, that was the piece that was missing.
Yeah, I know it's really hard, I'm sure, for the public to get that without a visual.
No, it's just the way it was
That's
said.
fine.
That was the, so it's separated out, okay.
So right now, at this moment, in the maintenance level budget, we are expecting to receive $46,630,556. And in expenditures, we're expecting to expend $57,244,998, down to the dollar, right?
Right.
And
That's good.
I have looked at other counties, because that's something that Mark and I used to kind of go head to head on, was, you know, he wanted me to round, and I looked at other counties, and it is customary to round, or not to round, and to go to the nearest dollar, not the nearest $5 or $10. So we are normal in that aspect. So we do have right now budgeted 289.12 FTEs, and I'll come back with a breakdown of those FTEs for you, hopefully next week. That's when I'm hoping to have that for you. We are, right now, we're budgeting 5.68% more revenue than we did last year, and 1.12% more expenditures than we did last year in the maintenance level budget. The policy level requests for the departments, the requests over maintenance, are at this point $2,757,142. And I put together a list by department for you, and we can go over that now if you'd like.
So these are the PLRs that have been requested.
Yes, so the detailed list by department has the breakdown of the 2,757,000, thank you. And I color coded it, so you could see the separation between departments. That's all that is on the color coding, just so it's easier to look at. There are a total of 7 full-time equivalent employees that are requested, and that amounts $691,899. And then other expenses, $2,065,243. There's no revenue that I thought looked weird that needed to be added to the PLRs for the general fund. So any questions at this point?
Just one of the ways to simplify it is we usually separate out positions and the other, and go down the list to decide whether they're actually, even though they're requests, quite often we see some of them as just being the cost of doing business. So
Yeah, I
we
can
wanna do it that
separate
way.
out.
Or you could just do it right here with some of it.
Yeah, do you want?
If you can give the narrative, or do you want them to give the
Or,
narrative?
I
well,
think that
we
the
have them
departments-
coming in, right?
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
scheduled time to come in and speak to us, so I think I would prefer that they tell us.
Well, except for some of it, then we don't have to argue over if she, because we're gonna ask her anyway at the end. So if we must
Yeah,
do
but
some
it's
of
always
them.
good for them to present it and
Yeah.
justify what they're asking for.
Yeah, some of these things in here, like the very first item, office supplies. I know that looks like a weird thing to have as a policy level request, but when I'm looking at what they've expended in prior years and what they're asking for, sometimes I felt like it was a little excessive, and so that's why I put it in the policy level request column. Travel and training, I would put in here unless it was, explicitly for required travel and training. So, like to keep certifications or licenses, that sort of thing. And some of this may be for that in the requested travel and training, but it's really difficult to communicate with all of the departments on, and get all the information that I need to decide on every single line item. So when in doubt, I just throw it in the policy level request.
Overtime for the clerk's office, $148,000. Holy crap.
Yeah, and that is, we had asked for a grant, and we were not awarded the grant for digitizing records, and so now the clerk wants to ask his own staff to do the digitizing.
I'm wondering if there's a better way to do that than having staff.
And this is probably this is a question for the clerk, not you, but are we digitizing records now? I mean, are we doing everything going forward electronically? Are we doing e-filing?
I believe so. I think this is past records that need to be digitized. There's just a lot.
Yeah, the record's up in the jail.
Yeah.
But the cost is the cost is the cost. When you did it, you did separately, you did different ways. You had sometimes where you had staff, but you also contracted out, right?
Yeah, we utilized those ARPA funds to hire so we didn't contract out, we hired 2 full-time people to scan.
Okay, so we didn't contract, we.
So it wasn't overtime or anything like that,
Wasn't
it was
overtime, it
just.
was 2 full-time temporary positions of clerical staff.
And then after it was,
And then in-house, we did our own, we did all the pre-work in-house, so mostly Mariah, to determine what our records were, what the retention schedule is, and what we do with the actual paper once it gets scanned, whether you toss it or keep it and archive it. So we did that in-house, but we did hire, and right now, we're just utilizing one, and we don't plan on filling that other position. We'll just
they
keep
did
it.
enough to cover this room.
Yep.
That's how much they digitized.
Oh, I know.
You saw
I
it?
saved rebuilding the roof.
Yeah. Or killing the people down below, actually, yeah.
It's saving folks downstairs. Yeah.
All right, well, I didn't mean to start this conversation, I was just I'm glad I was sitting.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I do worry about staff burnout.
Me too.
You know, that's
Me too.
a lot of overtime, so, I don't know, it does seem like there could be another way.
Well, there is.
Yeah.
You hire
Exactly.
two or one or two part-time people to come in and do it,
Mhm.
and be overseen by somebody else that's in the office. That's what was done before,
Mhm. And it worked.
Yeah.
if we even do it.
Yeah, so is there anything else on the PLR list that you wanna go over and talk about, right now?
Well, just down here under the sheriff's department, I see 95,900 for mandatory travel and training. Is that above what we've already paid in the past, mandatory travel and training?
It is, yeah, so, yeah, and I don't know the exact, specs on that, so, I don't feel comfortable speaking to that.
That's okay, I just was curious if it was over and above what we, normally when you have it in here, it is. It's over and above what they requested the year before.
Yeah, and again, they can speak to that. There's a few items in here under the sheriff's office that may be REIT eligible, like this front office remodel of 44,000, and I believe under the 789,000, the capital.
Okay. We've got a file in here that has their PLRs in it, so.
Yeah.
How about the 789,000 for evidence?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I think would be REIT eligible. And REIT has changed their legislation to, REIT 1 and 2 are now, they can be used for the same purposes.
Yeah.
And the reporting requirement is gone, and so excited about that. They had a separate reporting requirement that was really horrific. So we still cannot buy equipment through REIT, and I'm wondering if that was a mistake, like that it just got overlooked when the legislation was made for that. Like maybe the intent was there, I don't know. But
Can you ask Deb to check on that? Thank you.
that came up in my my WFOA conference that I went to, that yeah, MRSC still says nope, no equipment. So that was a bummer. I was really hoping that that we could pay for the 2 mowers that Parks is requesting. You know, that has to come out of the general fund right now. They're requesting 2 zero-turn mowers for 50,000. So you can review this list. Most likely it's not gonna change very much, hopefully not until next week, and I'll bring it forward again next week, and then, you know, you'll start meeting with departments and be able to
Right.
make some decisions on,
Have them justify.
yeah, on things. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the special funds. Okay, so our special funds, the beginning fund balances, in total right now are $63,638,394. Total estimated revenues for 2026, $62,262,952. For a total revenue and beginning fund balance, $125,901,346. And then total expenditures, including ending fund balance, are the same to balance, $125,901,346. And so adding in the general fund, the total estimated budget at this point in time is going to be for revenue and expense, $196,531,902. Total full-time equivalent employees in the special funds are 132.91, and including the general fund, that brings the total to 422.03. And looking at their policy level requests, they do have revenue requests of $1,960,054, and the majority of that is transfer requests from the general fund. So the first request is from roads. They're requesting the diversion of 1,100,000. I'm not really sure why the 1,185,054, but it, you know, approximately 1,080,000. Yeah, is for
Diversion.
diversion. Yeah.
What do you mean they're requesting it?
Yeah, they put it back into their revenue budget, roads did, in their preliminary budget. They're requesting to use that money for a project. And they're also requesting 2.5 million, I believe it was, moved from the reserved road projects fund balance line. They're requesting to move that amount to use for a project. And that's in the list of their PLRs.
Okay.
And then the only expense request that roads has is $60,000 for a wash rack, pressure washer.
Mm.
And they have no equipment purchases, because that's all, they're requesting that out of ER&R. Election equipment had a $250,000 request under expenditures for a new election system to make them compliant, so they can come and talk to you about that. It was just a large purchase for a relatively small fund, so I thought it should probably come before you to be talked about. Health is requesting an additional $740,000, or I'm sorry, $605,000 from current expense. The rest of that is a grant that includes a full-time employee, so I wanted to make sure that that was looked at and agreed upon.
Is there something that we promised them in the past or something to ask for this?
I know that $505,000 of that amount is for abatement and I believe like enforcement. So I think they're just showing
enforcement.
like, yeah, like what that would look like.
But was there
If we were to
anything
add
from
that.
revenue in or anything from this, what we passed in the past, that this would generate this? Or is this strictly a new expenditure out of general fund as the request,
Yeah, that would be a new expenditure.
without revenue?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
That's what I thought, I just wanted to verify
Yeah,
that that's
thank
what I
you.
was saying.
And I believe that they're presenting that today.
The rest, I mean, the utilities, anytime they have any type of capital projects, I have them come and talk to you about that. Roads, I don't, because they've already done that through their ACP, their annual construction program that's been approved. So I just make sure their budget matches that, and we don't have to talk about it again. They're requesting, Public Works is requesting 35,000 in additional transfer to Russellwood. And right now they have $100,000 in a transfer budgeted in case they need it. And we've had that budgeted since last year, never used it, and we have not used it this year. And I don't believe they will need to use it this year at all, but they are wanting to do a water, I believe it's for the water and sewer upgrades, but they can come and talk to you about that. And then.
How much did you say on Russellwood?
They're
5,000.
They're requesting 35,000 from current expense, an additional 35,000. They already have 100,000 budgeted in maintenance level.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I skipped a line here, I'm like, wait, I'm lost. I got it, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And then the equipment that ER&R that they're requesting is a couple of F-150s, a couple F-350s, a broom, a couple brooms it looks like, or a broom mower, or boom mower, sorry, boom mower, and a broom. So,
We need a broom to clean up after they've mowed.
yeah, very, very expensive, wow. It's crazy how expensive that equipment is. And here's the special funds detailed list, or more detailed list. And here's the 2.5 million that I was talking about in the fund balance for roads, where they're requesting to use that amount in a project. And again, they can come and talk to you about that. So at this point, that's all I have.
I got a question for you on Belfair. Spray field improvements, expansions, pond repairs. Is there any possibility that those would qualify under 09 or REIT?
I would think so, yeah. As long as they're included in the sets list, yeah, then yes, I believe that they would qualify. So I can check on that and see.
Now, set list or comprehensive plan or both?
The comprehensive plan, yeah.
That's what I thought,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, I meant the comprehensive plan. So yeah, next week I'll bring forward the fund balance policy with the changes that we have talked about in audit committee and you know, just as a draft to look at, and also the community development, looking what that would look like if we move that department into an enterprise fund. So I'll just show what that would look like.
On the 18 million ending fund balance for 2026, at the end of 2026, where does that set us with our policy that we currently have?
So we,
Because if we gotta bring it back to us, we need to know what we need to adjust.
yeah, I'll show that next week. I believe we would be able to cover all of our reserves that we have right now. But yeah,
Unchanged?
I think so. I'll bring it to you though and show you what that would look like. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You think it would? So we're looking at, what, 12 plus 5 plus 2 plus almost 1?
Yeah, we might need to look at that, actually, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about, I don't know.
That's 20.
Yeah, it might be a little bit more than what our policy currently. I just think we have too much reserved right now as it is in our fund balance policy.
And I appreciate that, but that's for us to
Sure,
decide.
yeah, it is,
And,
it
but
is.
when we ask that question, you gotta according to what we
Yeah.
have, not what was
Right,
wanted to
right.
be. Yeah.
Sorry, I should say, I don't know
Yeah.
at this point in time. Yeah, I mean, if you're including the $5 million in capital reserve, that's not really reserved for anything at this point, then yeah, we're definitely not gonna be
Well,
able
I'm
to cover
including
that.
everything we have at
Yeah.
this point, that's why I asked you, without a change. If we're gonna change it, then that's what we make our basement on, that's what we base our change on, is what it'll
Yeah.
be. So, but currently, just my simple math, I'm seeing 20.
Yeah, it would be at least 20, because we've got it's roughly 12 million for operating, we have the $1 million contingency, vehicles, and I set the vehicles at $1 million. It's not really,
No, we set the vehicles at $1 million. We did that as a commission, we set it up as
right,
$1
I mean,
million.
you
We set
agreed
it-
to
yes,
the $1 million.
Yes,
The IT is 400,000 is what's been
yeah,
adopted.
500,000 for our, those that leave, basically, are.
Yeah, the accrued
Yeah.
leave balance,
Accrued
and then
leave.
we have the $5 million in capital. And really, I mean,
And then our budget next, our reserve next year without changing the policy, what would you think that would be, 12, 13?
I think it's probably gonna be 13 million at
13.
the 25%, yeah, roughly.
So that puts us 3 million backwards policy-wise, unless we make changes to policy, 3 million plus.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Simple
gonna be
math.
more than that if our fund balance ends at 18 million. I mean, that's
Yeah.
already, we're way over. So yeah, definitely we'll wanna look at, changing that, or looking at that at least,
You'll bring it back to us
yeah.
next week.
Anything else that you wanna talk about on budget today?
No, so we have, assessor and public health coming in, assessor at 11:35 and public health at 11:50.
Okay.
And you'll be here for that, right?
Yeah, I'll be here. I do have two things that are not on your agenda that I wanted to bring up. So I got a request from the PUD, number one, for .09 funds for the sales and use tax for 500,000 for the Jorsted substation project. And so I just want direction on what to do with that. It would be nice if we had a window of time when they could apply for that funding from us, so that requests weren't coming in the middle of budget
Can
season.
you look and see how much we contributed to that already through ARPA and other things?
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah, but I think it would be good to talk about a window of policy or something that, so they're not just coming in throughout the year. If we have a window of time open where they can apply, because we already have the applications online, right?
We have an application, I can put it online for
Well, considering we
them.
like to have it in our budget,
Because,
it's nice to have it for our budget.
yeah, but if they come in during a window,
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
If we're gonna have it in our budget, it'd be nice to have it
Mhm.
in our budget. If they come in December, then that doesn't help us with our budget.
Yeah.
no, if they come in through a window, then it does help us with our budget, because they're not coming in after.
And one
Is
way
that
it
what you're
can maybe, yeah, and one way it can maybe be done is set up for 2 windows,
For what?
2 windows during the year. You know,
Like an early window.
Yeah, January, September, something like that. This way, flexibility, because sometimes, as somebody that was a port commissioner will use those funds, I can tell you, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So being able to have an opportunity 2 times in a year makes more sense than just one, because they don't know, and they'll miss all the opportunities for the certain grants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would it be worthwhile for staff to circle back with a proposal
Yeah.
on a
I'm just throwing it out.
possible procedure that would be workable for everybody?
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out.
That'd be great.
The idea to look at least 2 windows instead of
Okay.
just
Yeah.
Agreed.
And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was position control. So we have ran into another hurdle on position control. So right now, the way our job classes have been set up for the county, every position has its own job class. And that creates an impossibility for position control to work. So the workaround that is to change our job classes and consolidate them. And so I'm just bringing this forward to you because I am going to push for it to happen this year with HR and financial services. It's going to be really difficult for it to happen, but I think we can do it. It's not an impossibility.
And once it's done, it'll help so much. So I think, sometimes it's worth the effort to get it all worked out, and then, because we've wanted position control for a long time.
We have, the only thing I'm worried is it, did they end up putting that on you to handle? Because the authorities on that is not, the budget, we don't.
It's
they don't
really
exist.
a group project. It's really HR and financial services, and I'm just kind of helping facilitate it and
Prodding, kind of.
Well, because you would think if
Yeah.
it goes through them, like the auditor's office, stuff like that, then it should be presented by them. That's why I'm saying that. We gotta make sure that we stay within our framework. We have a budget office, but the budget office is solely ours. They have no statutory, no nothing, so we wanna make sure we,
Yeah.
But I think that the other concern is that because the work is shared by departments and those departments are under the commission, that we wanted to make sure that all three of the commissioners felt that this was a priority that you wanted us to focus on, and then we would work on those groups that are within the offices, such as the auditors, to make sure that we move that forward.
and I agree with you, but what I'm saying is a little different than that. What I'm saying is the spearheading on that is supposed to, if I'm not mistaken, be going through like the auditor's office and through that chain, with us supporting it through the audit committee, not our budget bringing it to us and stuff. It just seems like there may be a misstep there.
Well, that's just a way of looking at it. If you're saying that it should be spearheaded by the auditor's office, but the bulk of the work is not done in the auditor's office, then, is it right to push it from there or to push it from the direction
Yes.
where most of the work is done?
Because theirs is the one that has the authorities on that. I'm talking authorities right now. We don't have authorities to do certain things. That has to come through a different elected official. And I just wanna make sure we don't jump over that, regardless of who it is. That's their, I've been going through this for a long time. I want it yesterday. Okay, so let's be really clear about that. I've wanted it since we've ever started talking about it. It's been like a no-brainer. I just wanna make sure that we don't do it from our department when it's not ours, so it has to come somewhere else. We need Leo to do it or push it, and unless they put it on you, because there was a talk at one point of doing that, and they thought about just dropping it all on you. I remember that discussion.
I brought it to the audit committee last time we met, a few weeks ago, and Robin had, sent out an email to our group that works on that, and then I had somebody from HR come over and say that we ran into this hurdle. It's gonna be really difficult to make it happen this year, so, I can reach out to the auditor and,
Or Leo.
Or Leo.
Yeah, I
okay,
would think Leo.
okay.
Well, and because it's a priority for the BOCC, then it's nice for other offices to understand that it is a priority.
Yeah,
And so regardless of who does it, it is a priority for the BOCC.
okay, I'll reach out to Leo.
And you can include me in that if you like.
Okay, sounds good.
Great idea.
Okay, I really want it to go this year. We're just stagnant without it moving forward. We can't implement any of our new modules or, any of our existing modules that we haven't, updated. We can't purchase new and get those going. We can, but we'd have to go back and redo them, which would be a little asinine. But yeah, I'm really worried about the health department and, you know, getting them off of access and onto a module that,
Right.
that would be, more, work more, collaboratively with Munis, yeah.
Yeah, well, and I also want us to keep in mind, we've got people retiring that play key roles in those, and so if it's not a system that's recognized by the rest of the county, it would be nice to make sure that that's converted over. Or functioning.
Okay, well, I'll continue to keep you updated on progress on that, so.
Okay.
So yeah, at this point, that's all I have on budget, so I'll bring it back next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we are going to take a break until 11:35.
Commissioner, before we do that, could you give John 2 minutes to brief on his grant? I don't think it's controversial, and it was one thing in the briefing documents that I didn't have the opportunity to get to, so.
Okay.
And
I got 30 seconds.
You're losing control. No,
So we may not have a break, commissioners, that's what I'm
Well,
hearing.
we can make them start 5 minutes late too, the next one.
You can hold a hostage for a few minutes, it's okay.
Hey, John,
Good morning, Commissioners.
how's it going?
Good. A little busy, but we're good. We put in for this grant back in 2024 with our budget. It's now to almost a year ago. They're not very lenient on the equipment that we order, but then supply and demand, we've had to change vendors. Yet again, we've asked for an extension because the equipment that we initially requested is no longer available through the vendor we wanted, so we have to switch vendors, which requires an amendment to the contract. So that's what's before you now, so that we can switch our vendor around to get the equipment that we need.
And it's the same equipment.
Same equipment, just a different vendor. So,
But I don't have a copy of that, right?
you should have had one in your packet.
It was in the briefing packet.
Yeah.
Oh, the-
Yeah, I just didn't brief it
Yeah.
Oh, that's
because
right,
either
we
him or
skipped
Tammy
over.
was going to, and I.
I thought I saw
reviewed it,
something there
Yeah.
for him, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, and you guys approved it back in 2024, so
Okay.
not changing anything other than,
and there's no impact to the budget on that.
No.
It's just,
I'm good.
great. That's all I have.
You got three that are good.
Just 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yay!
So I just want you all to be aware, or make sure that you're all okay with. We have Breast Cancer Awareness Month and we have domestic violence. I'm gonna be putting the candles out. November is going to be green for the veterans, and then we'll go to Christmas.
That's so cool.
I just don't want anybody to be surprised that all of a sudden we had taken purple lights out. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you for doing that. It's awesome.
And what I forgot to say about the comp plan update is that the Squaxin Island tribe has, through staff has reached out. They wanna have their council reach out to the commission. I'd like the commission to reach out to the council to talk about comp plan, water issues, follow up from the WIRA work that we did. Now that ecology has adopted those rules. And then, of course, just reciprocate with the Skokomish
actually,
tribe as well.
that's a step. The last time we did comp plan, it went the other way around. They sued us and then we met. This time it'd be nice to,
And Marissa and I have
First.
had great working relationship with the Squaxin Island tribe, so we appreciate the work that she's put into that, and so, but just to, I can work with Travis on reaching out to the
Yeah.
tribes for, okay.
Okie dokie. Great.
preferably
then
there.
would
Our
you-
hot dogs are no.
And then you'll have them at, the special meeting, or will this be
We can, I
additional?
can outreach, I would think additional,
Okay,
so, yeah,
okay, and then we'll host them here.
okay. That sounds good,
Because-
thank you,
That'll be great.
Yeah,
okay.
she
awesome.
totally missed it,
I know.
totally missed it.
I heard the hot dogs, and I do not want.
Maybe
hot
she
dogs.
did miss it, okay.
Yeah.
I know where your brain goes.
Yeah, I wanna bring that lady a gift, don't want her mad at us.
No.
You remember who I'm talking about?
I do. She's a sweetheart.
I loved it. I just think, I love women like that. She came up, she was so calm, but boy, when I left, I go, boy, I don't want her mad at me ever.
All right, so now we can take a break until 11:35 when we have the assessor's office.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Sarah's been carrying me
No,
on
you
this.
want her to go back on?
Sure. Oh, yeah, sorry. have the assessor's office here to go through their budget requests. Go for it.
Yes, good morning. So we started out with 3 PLRs, one got shifted to maintenance. And so in front of you, we have 2. The first one is for office supplies expense, asking for a $2,000 increase. Really justifying it just due to overall cost of goods and services. For our office equipment, originally at $8,000, trying to bump it up to $10,000.
One second, Jennifer, are they spending up that, or, because normally that's a,
So,
And so we tend to spend a lot more at the end of the year replenishing office supplies. And so that's been our trend for the past few years, replenishing at the end.
yeah, I'll get the amount that they spent in 2024. The actuals were 5,550, and this year it's only been through June a little under 1,100, and so so the maintenance level budget is $8,000.
and they're trying to increase it to 10.
To 10, yeah.
And did you not find it justified, or what do you think?
I mean, I just felt like it needed more of an explanation.
Okay. So, yeah, I feel like we would spend around the same as last year, towards the end of the year, replenishing all of our paper, toner, and other supplies. We do want to get a conference table for our back office. Right now, when we do have a staff meeting, we have to go into the back break room. So that was one item that is on our agenda to buy this year. And so it may bump it up at the end for our 2025 expense, but just normal supplies.
I was kind of surprised at last year's because we didn't get a paper replenishment from the prior year, so I know we're gonna have to do paper. Because Julie got us a good deal from the treasurer, so we went with them on like a truckload or whatever she called it.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yes.
split it up amongst 3 offices.
Oh,
For a little bit of a discount.
Yeah.
that's smart.
Now,
Yeah.
the table, we have other ways of maybe getting that, would you be comfortable with 1,000 increase?
Yeah, I think that would be fine.
But I'm supportive of 1,000 as maintenance.
Yeah, me too.
And Pat, how do you feel about that? Are you okay?
Well, you know, I'm really new to all this, so if that works, I'm fine with it.
I mean, it works for now. We can always go.
Always adjust.
Yes.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
back and I mean, $1,000. It just, every little bit adds up, and if we can, you know, maybe you don't need the fancy paper, you know, and not that you
Right.
guys buy fancy paper, but a lot of departments buy that thick paper. And
Yeah,
I
which
always-
department is it that we get that paper from? HR.
Oh,
Man,
well,
we pay them too much. That is some prime paper. Every time we get it, we
shiny,
argue.
very glossy.
No, it's
thick.
hard, it's thick,
Yeah.
it's like, what the heck?
And the fact that everybody knows it tells you something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, and we also, we've gone paperless for our SEG packets now too, and our orange slips, we don't have
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
Everything's all paperless.
You're gonna save us thousands
Which
of
is
dollars.
so
Right,
That's why we
which-
didn't spend as much last year,
Yeah.
because we
Right.
weren't doing
That's
a lot,
funny.
but we do
Right.
still have some in-house notice of values that we do print, so we still need the perforated paper that we do order, so.
And by reducing the paper, in effect, reducing toner, so it's kind of
Right.
trimming some fat along.
Right, postage
Areas.
and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kinda
I know
nice.
as one of those consumers of the paper,
Mhm.
I appreciate no paper.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's nice.
All right, and then our third PLR was for travel expense. An increase of 2,000. So every year, there's a variety of classes, both west, east of the mountains. We have our annual Wasaka conference, annual Waco conference, some of which is held virtually. Most times we like to attend in person. But then we also have the criteria for our field appraisers. They must stay accredited. They have to have at least 15 continuing education credits every 2 years. And so they are sometimes forced to attend classes actually in Idaho if they're not being held in Washington, which is the closest. So between the all-in-all travel accommodations, asking for an increase.
And we did have an appraiser retire, so we're gonna reach out and we're gonna post for an appraisal position.
Yes.
And so they'll need to be trained.
So how much of this over last year's training? This is gonna be one, if it's a new one, we know that that's, needs to be included in maintenance usually. How mu, and the stuff you mentioned, we're
These
trying
are
to cover.
ongoing.
Yeah, we tried to cover it last year. How much is, of it is an increase? What are we looking for on the increase?
So last year, there's a $3,000 budget. So if they're asking to increase it to 5, last year they expended $1,601. So, like you said, I mean, it might not have been.
And because the appraisers are on different accreditation schedules, some years there may not be as much, and some years they may need to forced to, if there's not a class on the west side of the mountains, then they would be forced to attend one. As far as Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, there's been a few when they're not held in Washington. And so, yeah, they're not on the same schedule, so some year
They
they
do
may-
west, they do east, and so I think last year was mostly west, so it was just Olympia and back, so it's just lunch reimbursement.
Right, and then, so our appraisers, they must stay accredited, but we also welcome all of our staff to attend just general interest classes, knowledge classes that pertain to just the day-to-day work.
We had the
Most-
appraisers do the levy training this year, just so they get a better understanding of that.
Yes.
So are you asking for a 5,000 increase or
No,
an additional
total.
2?
Additional 2,000.
Because most of the classes, I think, this next year are gonna be on the east side.
And for a while, there were a lot of virtual classes, but some of the classes that are required a test, it's best to attend in person. So a lot of our field appraisers prefer in class.
Force in front of you too?
I don't have the year before in front of me, but I can run it.
Did you guys attend Waco?
No.
I did virtually. like-
Did you?
Yeah.
If I can,
I had it on,
can.
but we-
Yeah. I know, sometimes it's double duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I didn't do the Waco, but Wasac this year will be in Spokane.
Yeah, I was surprised it was in
Wasac virtual.
Tri-Cities.
That's what, I heard you talking.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah, is it really?
Yeah.
See, somebody's
Yeah.
phone's listening.
Someone's listening, yeah.
Yeah, they had really good speakers.
They are always listening.
I know, it's amazing how many ads come up after I've talked about something.
Yes.
Did your Wasac go back and forth on east to west?
Yeah, yeah, they try, but many times it just works better if it's over in Spokane because they have the big conference centers and you don't have to pay for parking and.
True.
Yeah, we try to do east and west, and then for some reason Chelan, they're saying is a west county, and I'm like, no, we go over the mountains to go there. They're trying to do Walla Walla, and then they're trying to do, well, we're gonna do Skamania this year, or 2026.
Oh, yeah.
And then Chelan. But I said, that's east, and then they wanna do Chelan 2 years in a row, but I'm,
Did they ever do it here for you guys? At Alderman?
At Alderbrook?
Melody and Amber did it. Or it might have been Melody and
I
Diana.
think it was before Amber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Melody and Diana held it at Alderbrook, and then Dixie did it at the casino. I have yet to do it. I'll do it soon.
Yeah, well, Alderbrook, we were doing it for the Public Works Board and it was just way too expensive for
Was it?
everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have enough rooms for everybody too, so.
When they have it, I don't stay there, I stay home.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, for sure.
So in 2023, the travel was $3,224, so it
So
was
it was a
more
lot
than
more.
the,
That's what-
yeah, more than the budget. And then the supplies in that year also were very high, 11,319.
Oh,
And that, but that was when you did
We
a lot
bulked
of
up, yeah.
paper, yeah.
So that's why we didn't need to get it in 24.
Right.
So like, we don't even have room.
Well, I'm comfortable doing the 2,000 more for travel and training. Commissioners,
I don't know if there's gonna be enough.
they can always come back and ask for more.
Yeah. And the price of hotels and stuff
I know.
is just
Yeah.
skyrocketing.
You're okay
Yeah,
with that? Okay.
you're good.
We got our narrative done.
Yes, we do.
Yes, very nice narrative.
if something happens on the supplies, just keep us abreast of it. And we'll,
Okay.
we have certain times a year we can adjust that if we have to.
All right, will do.
All right, get it? Get back to our
Back to our protest period.
last 4 days.
Yeah. Commissioners?
Okay, thank you.
Anybody ever protest say it's worth more?
Yes.
Actually, it's very rare, but we're sitting down usually when they say that. Why'd it go down?
Yeah. Not too often, but
Okay, thanks.
thank you.
All right, thanks.
So you guys, thank you, and thank you for scheduling so early.
Yes, thank you.
Okay?
Hi.
So, Buttercup.
Okay. And you all got this document, right?
Yes.
I believe we did.
So Jen, if we could start with the last one, which is probably the easiest one, which is the water quality.
Sure.
Okay. So in this document, the water, clean water enhancement is on page 9. And this is money we already have. So what all we're asking really for is to add it to our spending authority.
That was what my question was earlier.
Yeah.
So that was Fund 145.
I don't know the numbers.
I don't know
It's a
the right.
grant.
It's,
We have a South Sound grant, we have a Hood Canal, grant.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was it that was the 135,000?
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
that pays for the one FTE.
And the vehicle.
And the vehicle,
Right.
okay.
Right. And that's for,
Of the shellfish.
yep,
Yeah, so that's this one here, it's number 2 under Fund 150, the Community Services Help.
oh, I see, yeah, you've just got a different order there.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
And so is that one, are you okay with that, moving that forward, commissioners?
The 135?
Money in, money out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, I can fix that one.
Okay. The other one we have is 100,000, and that is, we went back and we looked at county contributions versus our county charges over time, and we've not gotten any additional money from the county since 2016, I think. And our high was 2008 at 777,000. And we're at right now we're at 376, and we've been that way for 10 years. We haven't gotten any increases to our budget in the county in 10 years. So most of our budget, it represents like 6 to 9% depending on the year. And all that money typically goes back to the county and overhead. So what we're asking for there is 100,000 to bring us, we're spending power back up to where it was in 2020.
I'd rather talk about the next one.
I know. I don't mean to make everybody's eyes bleed, but, you know.
Well, we don't have to make that decision today, we just keep it for information and make the decision as we get closer to the budget too, so.
So that's what it's about. It's just about recouping some of the lost spending power because all of our expenses are going up. And we don't even have the nice paper.
Nobody does.
I'm just
Only
saying.
they do.
Well, I don't have the really cool paper.
You know, but to give you a pat on the back though, you have brought in more revenues. You've expended more because you brought in more revenue. You've been doing the work.
Yeah, since I've gotten here, a couple $1 million a year more. But this year, in this coming year, we took a $492,000 hit. Or excuse me, $392,000 hit.
And so you're asking us to share some of that.
Well, I haven't even started on that yet.
That's FPS.
That's the FPHS piece that was clawed back due to underspend, which was really understaffing because we weren't able to hire an ARMP. So we'll have a continuing discussion with Wasalfo about that. And their delinquency in getting us funds in a timely manner. And if they ask us for those funds back in June that we weren't able to get for July, August, and September, I think then it's time to talk to the county attorney and have a discussion with Wasalfo about how they're treating small counties.
Yeah, and I'd be curious to know too, how many other counties are thinking the same way.
Several.
Yeah.
Well, what it is yeah, we have a fund balance, but it really wrecks our cash flow when they do that. So, and then to claw it back at the end of the year seems really out of step with the reality. So. Okay, so we're just going to put that one on pause. Okay, all right. So then let's go to the next one. This next one was based around several discussions we've had in the spring. June 2nd, we came in with a recommendation, and it was near this amount. It was close to it. It was $480,000, and I changed things around a little bit to address those things in solid waste that the commissioners have had concerns on. Lost that again.
Spam said that.
Oh, okay. A month ago, the commission in their commissioner discussions were talking about how we need to do more with solid waste. Well, this is the cost of doing that piece as discussed by the commission. So we'd be looking at 1 FTE fully loaded. That's 120,000. An abatement fund, which would need to be stocked to 250,000. Now we may not spend that each year, but for example, the recently we had somebody who had 200 tires dumped on their property. An abatement fund could have taken care of that, in short order. And then we have 120,000 for hearing examiner costs, and that pays for each employee to have one hearing examiner case per month. Each of our code enforcement people. So that would clear our court costs there, and it would add another SUV plus the fuel. So that would be that's the 15,000 that from Kelly said. A vehicle plus fuel comes out about 15,000 a year. So to transport that next solid waste person around.
So the biggest expense there would be the funding the abatement fund.
Right.
And on that abatement fund, would that have to be replenished every year? So you're starting off with the 250.
I would say leave it at 250. Then just take it up to a 250, and then we'll see what happens from there. Bad thing is if we have one case that is asbestos, we can blow through that just in a heartbeat. Yeah, I think the city found out about that on a couple of properties too. So
down there by the railroad.
Yep. Yeah, if they have trimline asbestos as insulation, it's a huge expense to remove.
What does one code enforcement officer make per year unburdened? About?
Are you talking about what they take home, or just what it costs?
No, just the base salary is about 70.
70, thank you. That's what
You figure really to fully load an employee, it's about double anymore. It used to be 35%. Now it's much more. And right now, all of our code enforcement money comes from either FPHS or from our small tipping fee that we get.
So the money from the FPHS, how much? Because that was a big chunk of what they took, right?
No, they didn't take anything out of our code enforcement.
Didn't they?
Nope. They took it out of life course and Those are the things that we were gonna use.
Life course, Hep C, and emergency preparedness.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, they completed all of our emergency preparedness money and all the Hep C money. Now, I say they, that's what I offered up, to keep their fingers out of other programs that we use. So the feds came back and backed us up another 25% on the emergency preparedness money. And if I pair that with the epidemiological money, then I pay for that person to do those two programs. So he wears two hats.
So Dave, your cash balance for health is like $5 million roughly right now. How is it so high? Like, what does that?
So for initially, FPHS was cash, and if we didn't spend it, we just rolled over. And part of that was the 200,000 we had from Choice as well. Now we just spent 200,000 of that, and then we put money into investments, and that rolled up pretty quick as well. So and I've been since I got here, I've been really trying to keep that balance up because of things like this year when we don't get contracts on time and we have federal problems. Because I've seen that in the past with Northeast Tri, not
So
here.
it's advance grant funding and then interest earned on that advance grant funding.
Right. Yeah, not grant funding, contract funding.
Contracted
Yeah.
FPHS.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's still live on the,
It should come back after.
it's on the computer.
Right, so it's been, and that's our reserve in case we have to go without contracts.
So with that, that's a great question. How much of that is unencumbered?
Of that?
Yeah.
It's not encumbered. Our
The whole 5 million is unencumbered?
yeah, it's not attached to any one fund's
So
outlay.
that's what you use when.
When.
Because it's not if.
Right.
It's when the funding stops from the state.
Right.
Yeah, but what did
For
we
the
run
feds.
2 years ago? What did we run 4 years ago? Can you look at that for the future for us to? You
It
don't
was
have to right now.
running about 4, 3.5 to 4. COVID bumped us up.
Artificially.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And then
I think that's important that people remember that was artificial. It
it
wasn't.
was artificial. It was one-time funding, and frankly, some of my compatriots got addicted to that funding.
Yeah, they did. And now they're paying for it.
And now they're paying for it.
But if we never spent it out, it was one-time funding that we kept in the bank.
Yeah.
It's just.
And that's a lot of it, you know, one of my compatriots hired another 50 employees, and now they're having to lay off 50 employees. I hired 5. So, we were much more circumspect in how we spent our money during COVID than many places. You know, and then if we have another outbreak, I've got money to buy the PPE, the tests, all that kind of stuff. Because that's what we used our balance for early on before we got the money for COVID, is we started buying PPE and tests before the COVID source started rolling.
Is any of that money that was for the lawsuit or anything else, is that completely
lawsuit?
separate for the opioid settlement?
No,
That's all separate. This is
that's all in a
$5 million
separate account, yeah.
unencumbered, sitting there as a reserve.
That's a separate account, and that's what I asked about last week. We need to sit down with the city. I talked with Mark Ziegler about, about how we want to disperse that money going forward, because there's a lot of people who'd like to have a piece of that. We just need to figure out how we want to do that.
Well, I think it's good that we bring Tim into the conversation as well, because he knows the legal.
Well, and Tim is part of that process of
He is.
the separating from Thurston County, because we were gonna be rolled under Thurston County. And we said, no, thank you very much, we'll step out, we'll manage it ourselves. Tim will do that piece, I'll be the account manager, and that's how we went forward with that.
Right. And on that one, I think people need to remember too, that that's not it's not.
It's not an every year thing.
No,
Mm-mm.
no. Some of it is what it is what it is right now.
Right. And I have applied for the
You have.
secondary ones, I haven't heard anything back on those.
Okay, I think they're still in process.
Right.
5-year rolling ending fund.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
So, yeah, my experience from Northeast Tri was to have enough funds that I can run for 3 to 6 months without anything coming in. So, I think it's just a safe business practice.
So if a new enforcement officer is approved, you're not gonna stick them in a closet, are you?
We have some more space now.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
'Cause you guys were pretty cramped there for a while.
We were, but by going to the new building, we gave ourselves some space, and now a lot of the filing cabinets for Kell's files are gone from our area down there.
See?
So that freed up actually a lot of space.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, and we don't worry about it falling in on our heads, so.
That might be.
There's a
concern.
benefit.
Yeah, that's just benefit, yeah.
Small one.
I mean, I used to be able to hear the roof, kind of thrumming, as people would walk through, so.
Oh, we hear that.
It's just a good thing they had everything along the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it had been in the middle, it would never have survived.
Yeah. It's funny what we hear upstairs.
So, and we're still sharing room with we have a room dedicated downstairs for Kell's folks that are doing the scanning. So they have their own room. That used to be our other conference room is now their scanning room. So it gives them a quiet place that they can work without being disturbed.
Cool. Cool.
Okay.
Anything else?
All right, at 1 o'clock there is a WIC shutdown meeting at the state, so I'll be on that.
Okay.
So we'll find out what the details are. So, okay.
It's a little aggravating.
I did send out an email to all staff saying, we've been down this road before in 2012 and 2017. This is just a bump. We'll get over it. Things will reopen. We'll go.
WIC is so important.
Yeah, it is. And the administration says it's important. They want to get that up and rolling. So, okay. If there's anything else, I think we can go.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah. You beat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I caught what you said about the access database. So yeah, as soon as we get a module that we can do
Yeah.
so many different codes.
Yeah, it's just all hinging on that position control.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause-
Before you go, the 15,000, for the SUV all-wheel drive lease plus fuel, that is only for the code enforcement. If the code enforcement goes, you don't need it if,
Right.
okay, just wanted to verify.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So that whole,
It'll
that
be-
PLR
Yeah,
is
that
for,
was rolled together, yeah.
Good. Well,
it's all or nothing.
Kelly had mentioned you might need more. and I wonder if that's what he was
Yeah,
talking about, or if
I've got people
it's-
asking for more, and I'm still evaluating,
During
can we do it by scheduling rather than by more vehicles, so,
Okay.
And I guess we're getting new vehicles too, Ford Mavericks, which
Yeah.
would be nice, yeah. So we're not putting septic system lid lifters in the back seat of a car, so,
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Okay, so our next one is next Monday?
Next Monday, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, commissioners, do we have anything else? No. No.
Other than need to sneeze.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned. Thanks, Deidre.